Good Wednesday morning. My name is Luke. This is Life Pushing Through Roadblocks, episode 7, lucky 7. Just going to go over the second round of chemo, which actually was the first new regimen. The first regimen we went through, it didn't really do anything. It didn't really help me with my lower back pain. And realistically, when we did our PET scan, it didn't really change anything. So a PET scan is when you go into at St. Pete's is actually went into a container outside that was pulled by a semi, and what it was, we'd go into, there's 2 rooms, one on either side, and then they would fill me, they would put an IV in, they'd give me some type of drug, and I don't know what the type of drug it is, and then what I would do is I'd sit in a chair for a half hour, and then all of a sudden they would do a scan and to see where the hot spots are. Now the hot spots are where the cancerous cells have accumulated in areas, so you can kind of tell where the tumors are. So for me, I had those 5 tumors. I had 1 in my throat, 3 in my abdomen, and 1 in my spinal cord. So on the scan, you could see those individual areas. So as I went through the second round, this was more of the interthecal. And so what that is, that's when they put that needle into my spine and then injected the chemo directly into my spinal cord to get the chemo directly into there. Also, we did methotrexate, and there's a couple other ones. Sorry, I can't really read my mom's writing the greatest. And of course, the chemo brain, I can't really remember as much that I want to. But as I was reading through and I was kind of remembering a lot of the things, this round was the first start of when I started feeling a little bit better. But then also, because of the tumor on my throat really started to hurt and started to be really raw. And this is the big problem that I ran into the first time I went through cancer treatment, is my throat was so raw by about halfway through that I couldn't eat or drink anymore. And that's where I lost most of my weight. I went from 225 pounds down to 157 pounds, my bottom weight, and I was getting fed through a tube. All my TCP and lipids is what I think is what it's called, to be able to get the nutrients that I needed to stay alive, because I couldn't swallow, I couldn't eat. And then also along with that is my taste buds changed. So this is probably one of the weird phenomenons that happens, is that there's so many different type of chemicals that are running through your body, that because the chemo, it actually changed my taste buds. Now, I love my pasta. I love my tomato-based products. I love all that type of stuff. And when I got sick and all of a sudden my taste buds changed, all of those flavors, those tastes were disgusting to me. And that was the toughest thing, is just sitting there going, the things that I enjoyed eating, I hated now. I couldn't stand the taste. And luckily, there is one good thing about it. The one good flavor was peppermint stick ice cream. And I would love, and I'll probably see if I can get my sister and my mom to give me a little bit of synopsis, but they went out, and luckily this was around Christmas time, they went out to every single store in Helena to buy quarts of peppermint stick ice cream, because that was the only thing that felt good and tasted good. And so literally they sat there and sold out the whole town of peppermint stick ice cream. So now after New Year's, that stuff goes away. So they went to every single store and they found one last jug, I think it was at a local store, and they bought it because that was the only thing that could make me feel better and the only thing that I could taste and actually enjoyed. That's a little bit more into kind of what I went through. I always want to thank my family, my nurses, my doctors, and of course the football team and all my coaches and everybody that helped me out, and then the community of Helena for always being there for me. Thank you. And next week's episode 8, and I'll go into a little bit more about the chemo, and I'll go a little bit into some of the side effects that I went through besides my taste. Thanks, and have a great Wednesday.